I would like to first acknowledge the abusive process issue. The abusive process would be that, talking about the process in my mind, see, I asked for more time to get a lawyer after I found out and I did motions asking for that. Those motions were not heard. None of my emotions, and that is the due process issue. The due process issue is immediately I found out that my lawyer was not doing anything. I made every due diligent effort to get my lawyer to respond and get the ADA on record to answer questions. And the ADA, like I said, he didn't know that he actually has in my transcripts that he thought I was jailed 2 times. And that's one thing I would have asked him is that, no, I was jailed 3 times. The second time was when they jailed me for the same thing that the grand jury jailed me for. And that grand jury jailed me for another harassment charge that would have jailed me for a year. And I was told in court I was going to go to jail for a year, and I couldn't understand what I did. And the fact is that the ADA in the court transcripts, and that's why I wanted the discovery, if not discovery, to at least question the affidavit that was used in the summary judgment that unfortunately you don't have the transcripts of because they weren't provided for you. So what happened is that I did submit some motions to the Judge Easter, and the fact is that the ADA, and I clearly stated, could have been acting as an agent for Nissan. I don't know his background. I do not know who his family works for. I knew that he lived in California. He came here the same time as Nissan did. I've been told that he's connected to Nissan. I was told that I don't know what his connection is. I do know that he did lie on his affidavit. And I do know that I tried desperately to get that information. Granted, I might not get discovery, but I should at least be able to confront the person that writes an affidavit with false statements. And I wasn't even allowed to have my motions heard. I believe that if the summary judgment were ordered, and I would be less angry today, if I was at least respected in the courts, respected and given the opportunity to have my motions heard. They were not heard, and if you had that transcript, you would have seen that. And the fact is that because the ADA, now I'm not a lawyer, I don't know anything about the law, but when I tell people that Nissan's an individual, they were considered in Tennessee, well, they're like, wait a second, Nissan had a lawyer represent them working with ADA. He was able to quash your subpoenas. The Nissan lawyer quashed my subpoenas. I could not put on a defense. So I am not a lawyer, and I had to go to a trial, and 2 days before they filed this motion, just 2 days, so I couldn't get any help. I found out about it Friday, happened on a Monday, and all my key witnesses were quashed. I mean, and this happened, and then there was a judge switch. My judge was supposed to be Mr. Robbie Bill, and at the last minute it was Kurtz. Then I was told there was some political maneuvering to make that happen. So I know my case is political because my case is a first-time misdemeanor. My case, I'm a person with no record, a clean record. And then the evidence to even show that they say that I did, that people said I did, that it doesn't exist anymore. The evidence is gone. And I can't even get discovery. But if I can't have discovery, I at least deserve the opportunity to have this remanded back to the lower court so I can question the ADA about his statements. He made false statements on that thing that Timothy Easter approved. Timothy Easter did not Judge Timothy Easter did not listen to any of my motions, and I filed them as soon as I was able to because I had to wait for my lawyer to step down. And, I looked at this. The one thing that they said I did was trespass, even though I wasn't given valid information. Then I found out that information was too old. So it turns out that federally I didn't really do what they say I did, but okay, I paid the $50. But it turns out Occupy Nashville people were charged with the same thing that I was charged with. I was in the courts for 19 months. I was jailed 3 times. I didn't get to have any witnesses, or actually, they after my 7 subpoenas, they kept 2 of them. But they dropped 5 of my subpoenas, my main ones, that would have proven that what was happening happened. I have communications from the president of Nissan North America at the time, Carlos Tavares. He emailed me directly. After I got the letter telling me I couldn't be at Nissan, he said he was president. Well, he was. Now he's no longer at the company. But he said he was president, and he decides who he talks to. He told me that. He was one of my witnesses, and that got quashed. I mean, I know, I mean, and I'm not about money. I've already told Bridget Carpenter, I've told Nissan, I want my reputation back. I'm a mom. My kid has had her friends bully her because her mom's been to jail 3 times. Everybody thinks I'm a horrible, evil person. And this is about respect for my daughter, but it's about respect for the law. Because a corporation cannot become an individual, quash your subpoenas, and then say, oh, yeah, wait a second. No, it's not right. Now, then they drop it. But I went through 19 months of fighting this in the courts. And I have proof that I filed the motions. My motions were not heard. That is due process. Due process is being able to confront the person that did the affidavit. My lawyer did not do it, but I did catch it prior to the summary judgment. And if you could just hear the summary judgment hearing, if Nissan would provide those tapes, you would understand that I'm just a woman that wants to be respected as an individual, but to have the Constitution, and I can't cite case law, but I mean, people have thrown me copies of this Constitution, is that I have the right to defend myself, and I have not been able to do that. And that's all I want. Thank you.
Thank you for that, and Mr.